Let's talk about Logan Roy. If you've seen Succession, you'll know exactly why this man has earned the title of the most toxic father in the history of toxic fathers on TV. This man was not only emotionally unavailable. In fact, why am I saying emotionally unavailable? His kids did not need him to be an emotionally available dad. They just needed him to be a normal human being. This man was actively competing against them. He was literally trying to beat them every chance that he got. I have to give props to Brian Cox for this acting. Oh my goodness, like, all the emotions. You know, a lot of times when I watch a show or a movie, I try hard not to internalize it, but sometimes I fail. I try to picture myself in the position of someone going through something in the movie. And sometimes I get really upset. And my husband has to like hold me down and be like, hey, it's just a movie, calm down. This is exactly how I felt watching Succession.
He's erratic. What the fuck? We haven't finished. He's making bad decisions. He's going to destroy the company.
Hi, my name is Susan. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, how is it going? And it's good to see you again. Logan's favorite line is, everything I've done for my children.
Everything I've done for my children.
He's always saying this in public. The line obviously sounds noble, and it's like he's always sacrificing everything for his family. But we all know, and we could all see through him in this series, that he was doing everything for himself. Like, he was literally not trying to sacrifice for them. He was literally trying to stay in control at all times. And his kids knew better. His kids knew that this line was just simply untrue. We, the viewers, knew better as well. He was successful. He gave his kids the best life, a luxurious life, but he also tormented them emotionally. So let's talk about what makes Logan Roy the most toxic father in the history of toxic fathers on TV. I want to hone in a bit more on Logan's go-to line. Everything I've done for my kids.
Everything I've done in my life, I've done for my children.
It's obvious that he says this to make himself feel better about his relationship with his kids. His kids are emotional wrecks in this series. They are constantly striving for his approval. There's a constant conflict in Succession between how the Roy family needs to be perceived to sustain their business and how they actually feel about each other. And Logan is right at the center of that. In public, he plays this role of the benevolent patriarch, but in private, it's all manipulation and mind games. He wants his kids to be ruthless and capable, but he also sets them up to fail. So there's this like push-pull dynamic where he's like, be strong, take me down, but also don't be too strong, don't pass your boundaries, I'm still your father, I'm in control. His kids are a mess. They love him, they hate him, they want to destroy him, and they want his approval, and they admire him all at the same time. And so I think that's what makes this show really hard and exhausting to watch. Obviously, we can't talk about Logan's parenting without talking about his background. He actually had a physically abusive uncle. We see one of the scenes where he's swimming and there are like whip marks at his back. The twisted part that we see here is that he attributes his success to his abusive upbringing. So we see Logan say that this made him tough and in control, and so he never has to rely on anyone to take care of him. Let's talk about Kendall for a second.
Very tough, and so am I. I'm not sorry for what I'm doing, which is correct. I'm sorry for how it makes you feel.
Kendall was afraid of his father, and at the same time, was also trying to act cold to show his father that he could be ruthless at being in charge of the company. He longed to be taken seriously by Logan. He longed to be seen as a capable leader. But no matter what he did, Logan is always like, nope, I wouldn't have done it that way. Not good enough. The weird part about this is that sometimes Logan would actually give Kendall compliments, when he does something that sits down well with him. But when he sometimes switches it up and he doesn't agree with his father about something and he gets insubordinate, he found a way to beat down Kendall. If you remember that scene where Kendall asked Logan and was like, do you think I can do this? Like, can I take over the company from you?
Did you ever think I could do it?
And Logan is like, says you have to be a killer. So basically saying that he has to be someone that is able to do like terrible things to be able to take over the company.
You're not a killer.
So Logan never pictures Kendall as someone that is hard enough to do mean things, to do wicked things, to be able to actually succeed at taking over this company. The only time we see that Logan actually admires Kendall is when he publicly betrays Logan. Now let's talk about Shiv. Shiv wasn't even interested in business or taking over, but somehow Logan lured her into it. And he actually made her believe that she would be taking over. But it was all a lie. It was all a twisted way of him trying to pit his children against one another. Shiv, Kendall, Roman, they bear the brunt of this emotional abuse and mind games, and they actually replicate the toxicity in their own relationships. For example, we see Shiv cheating on her partner, essentially following in Logan's footsteps. We also see Roman always trying to tear people down, just like his father would do a lot of times. Kendall turned on his family a couple of times just to give himself the upper hand, because that is what he saw his father do. That is what he believed it took him to really be in charge and win this company. Logan never actually owns up to the damage that he's caused. He never ever apologizes. He literally just brushes everything off and is, acting like it's not a big deal. They are the ones that need to toughen up. They are the ones that need to come up to his level because they are too soft or they are too sensitive, right? They are not serious, in his own words. If you were to ask me if this man loved his kids, I would say that I don't think he knew what it meant to show love. What I saw when I was watching this was someone who went through traumatizing experiences as a kid and somehow became successful. Against all odds, he became successful. But he refused to get help to deal with his trauma because I guess he believed that because he turned out successful, the trauma that he went through must have been good for him, in a sense. And not only that, he also resented his children for being the exact opposite of him, having the exact opposite of his experience. His children, obviously, because this man was successful, were born into luxury. They were actually on the verge of inheriting this business that he had built with his blood, sweat, and tears, and they're just about to, take it away from his hands. He's upset about that for some reason. It's like, why did you have kids if you didn't want this to happen? What's your purpose of being successful if you don't want your kids to benefit from it or have a better life than you did? A part of me thinks that he has normalized dysfunction so much that he didn't think of himself deserving of something better with his kids, and that kind of became his only lens to view life. And that's why he expected the same despicable and ruthless acts from them too. It's like, this is the only way to do things. This is the only way I have seen things get done. See, there being any other way. You cannot be the prey. You have to be the one being on the attack all the time. And even if it takes you doing all sorts of terrible things to get there, you have to be the person that is able to do those things. That was Kendall's way of viewing life. And anybody that wasn't going to do that, or anybody that wasn't even as bad as him, he did not see as good enough. And that was the lens through which he was, viewing his kids. I want to know, what did you guys think of this man called Logan Roy? Obviously, this show was dramatized and there were a lot of exaggerated events, I would say. But I don't think it is far-fetched to have experiences like this, or people go through this with their parents. If you're a parent that probably went through something like this, what would you guys say, would have been a better way to live a better life with your children and not replicate the same experiences that you had growing up? And as a kid, if you've had this experience before, how have you been able to navigate having a relationship with your dad? Has there been change over the years? What would you say has helped you, I guess, in the past with your relationship? Feel free to write in comments. If this is all hypothetical for you, I also want to know your point of view about Logan's relationship with his 3 kids. Please put in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts also about this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the notification bell to get notified anytime I drop a video as well. I really enjoyed doing this and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.